Happy Wednesday. This is Gigi Sabat, and you're listening to the Walk With Me podcast. My guest today is CJ Grace. She's a former BBC journalist, inspirational speaker, and an author. Welcome to the show, CJ.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Welcome, CJ.
It's great to be here.
Such an honor to have you here today. Now, why don't you start off by telling us more about you and where are you from?
Well, as you can probably tell from my accent, I'm British. And in a way, I was living a charmed life. I had my dream job with the BBC. I was interviewing celebrities and, people who were making their mark on the world, politicians, all that kind of stuff. And then I got a transfer to work as a journalist advisor for China Radio International in Beijing. And it was in Beijing that I had a fairy tale falling in love with an American guy. And, fast forward to our 25th wedding anniversary. It was spent in Hawaii. We had a house here and it was the best anniversary ever. And little did I know that just 2 years later, both my health and my marriage would be in tatters because my husband was openly carrying on an affair with a woman half his age, whom he refused to give up. And I was diagnosed with breast cancer for the second time because I carry that dreaded BRCA gene, which gives you more susceptibility to breast cancer. The same kind of thing that Angelina Jolie had thought could be a death sentence. So it was a double whammy that really left me reeling.
And here you are, and you're continuing to move forward and strive.
Yes.
Excellent,
yes.
My friend. Now, what is your best advice to someone else who has gone through infidelity or breast cancer?
Well, in terms of infidelity, my view was, and the mantra of the book that I wrote about it, Adulterer's Wife, How to Thrive, Whether You Stay or Not, the mantra of that book was that the best revenge is to get past the need for it. And so you want to find ways of moving forward, not getting stuck in revenge strategies and wasting life energy on that, using that life energy to make your life actually better than it was before. Because in many ways, going through breast cancer, going through infidelity, it can be a catalyst to have great personal growth. And that's exactly what I found. I had some tools that I used. Some of them are on my website. I had a 6-part plan, and that really helped me. But generally, it's a question of believing in yourself, not getting stuck in revenge. And another thing, particularly for the cancer, was for me as an anal BBC trained journalist, was that information is power. Do your research, make sure you feel 100% comfortable with everything that you're offered to do as a treatment or whatever, and go with that.
Very powerful. Now, what does humor mean to you, and why do you love utilizing humor so much?
Well, my view is that if you don't laugh, you cry, and I'd much rather laugh. And so I try to see the absurd humor in every situation that I faced, even the dark ones. I was brought up on a diet of Monty Python. I love that kind of humor, and I bring that into my writing. And, you can actually get a lot more into dark subjects in a palatable way if you use humor. I found that to be incredibly effective.
I love it. Very powerful. Now, CJ, what is your best advice to the audience for walking with purpose and living a life of happiness?
Well, I think that it's a very good thing that you asked that, because a lot of people confuse success with purpose. And success is often about, I want to make my million. You've made your million, and then it just doesn't feel that good. And you feel, oh, well, I better go for another million. And it's an endless thing. It's never fully satisfying. When you find your purpose, it's satisfying. And success is more about just only to do with yourself, whereas purpose is serving others as well as yourself. And that is what I would recommend. And it also gets you out of yourself and makes you not see yourself as the most important thing in the universe. We're all important. And I think purpose is definitely what makes me get up in the morning. And going through breast cancer twice, it really shows you that you have an expiration date. And if not now, when? Do what you've always loved. Doesn't mean you have to give up your day job and expect to make money to live on as a saxophonist if you've always wanted to play the saxophone. I don't mean it in that way, but you definitely need to think about what makes your heart sing. What really do you believe in deeply in your gut, and go for those things. That's so important.
Very true. Now, do you have any last words for the audience, CJ?
Yes, that there's always hope. I mean, if you look at your personal story, Gigi, and my story, we've been through some really dark times. I mean, you in particular, what you've come through. And had you not done that, you wouldn't necessarily be achieving what you're achieving now and helping so many people. So there is always hope. And you have to look beyond the dark morass you may be in now and think about moving forward one step at a time, and remember that things will always they can always get better, and you just believe in yourself and believe in a higher power to help you move forward.
Thank you, CJ, for your kind words. And speaking of challenges and challenges that we've overcome, tell us a little bit more about your book and a little bit more about the book that we are working on together that's coming out here on December 1st, Healing and Growth as well.
Yes, my second book has just come out. It was released October the 10th, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And it's My Wild Ride, How to Thrive After Breast Cancer and Infidelity. I've actually got a copy right here. And that is not only a very candid comic memoir, but it's also a very detailed, uplifting survival guide with tons of resources in it and tons of humor and lots of cartoons. And I was very honored to be invited to contribute a chapter to the Healing and Growth anthology. And I put some of my thoughts about dealing with breast cancer and dealing with infidelity in that book. And I'm in the company of a lot of incredibly powerful people who've used adversity to actually make their lives better than they were before.
I love it. Can you bring the book up closer and also tell folks where they can grab their copy?
Yes, it's available on Amazon, both in a paperback and in an ebook form. So that's that one. I also, my first book is this one, which is also available on Amazon. My Wild Ride, How to Thrive After Breast Cancer and Infidelity, and Adulterer's Wife, How to Thrive Whether You Stay or Not. They're both comic self-help guides with a lot of very helpful information. And I hope they make you laugh. Because laughter is the best medicine, really.
I love it. If you need a good joke, or if you just need to laugh, definitely reach out to CJ for sure too. Now, CJ, can you tell the audience a little bit more about Healing and Growth, our book that's releasing soon?
Yes, it's a wonderful project with a number of different people from all walks of life, from different countries, talking about their transformative experiences. So whatever you've been through, there's most likely going to be a chapter about that in the book, and how someone just like you has been able to make it through it and come out the other end stronger and more powerful than before.
Wow, very powerful. Thank you, CJ. And now, where can the audience find you?
I'm on cjauthor.com. I maybe should, and adultererswife.com is the website, but I say cjauthor.com, which gets you there because adultererswife.com is so hard to spell. So if you just go to cjauthor.com, cjauthor.com, you'll get to that adultererswife.com website. I have a lot of resources on there for both breast cancer and infidelity. There are 2 PDFs you can download, and I also have other resources that you can find if you go to the cjauthor.com page on the adultererswife.com website. So there you go. That's how you find me. Or you just Google CJ Grace breast cancer or CJ Grace infidelity, and you'll find me.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out CJ on all of her social media platforms and also her websites, both of her websites. And CJ, thank you for being a guest on Walk With Me podcast. You have a blessed day.
Yes, blessings to you too. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Absolutely. God bless.